Well, this attack has happened, and immediately, as there were Pakistan footprints all over it, here is the admission coming in from Pakistan's side, because it cannot remain in denial anymore. Here is the Pakistan Defence Minister speaking to a media outlet, has acknowledged that there is an entire mechanism and apparatus for training terrorists by Pakistan. And that is why Pakistan is known as a rogue state, as a terror state. Why? Because it provides safe havens to terrorists and terror organizations. Now, when he was questioned by a journalist, and there was a pertinent question, do you admit, sir, that Pakistan has had a long history of backing and supporting and training and funding these terror organizations? Here is the Pakistan Defence Minister admitting on camera that yes, we have been doing this dirty work for the United States for at least 3 decades. Unimpeachable track record, that is laughable. Pradeep Datta is with us. This video, Pradeep, that has been posted by the BJP. Should Pakistan now change its name to Terroristan, because there is nothing Pak going on as far as when it comes to the rogue nation is concerned, and the big admission coming in from no less than its own minister, saying that yes, we've been doing all the dirty work for all the last 3 decades.
Yes, you rightly said, because there is nothing Pak about this Pakistan. You rightly said this is a time when one should call it Terroristan, because they are only involved in rogue activities. They had been aiding and abetting terror. And here in this interview, you can see that they are saying that we had been doing this dirty work for the last 3 decades, how they had been helping terrorists to come out to this side, providing them arms training, pushing into the Indian side of the border. And now I think this is for the world community to see, because Pakistan cannot deny this thing. This is one of their Mantri himself admitting this fact and confessing on television that yes, they had been the one who had been providing all sorts of support. But here they are trying to put blame on United States of America. They say this all started in 80s when they started a war against Russia. At that time it was USSR when they had started a war, and they started supporting United States of America. And that was the time when they started this war, and since then they're involved in this activity. They say that this was a mistake. But since this is a kind of a camouflage, but everybody knows in 1947 also, when Pakistani army soldiers, they came out to the Kashmir side, they indulged in rape, they got indulged in massacre and also loot and kasut. That time also they started blaming that it was not the Pakistan army. And in Kargil also we saw that how Pakistan army and had been there trying to target our brave hearts here and capture some of those posts. But they had been involved in the terror-related activities, but they will keep on denying. But here is a proof for the world to see that this country is Terroristan. They are involved in rogue activity. They believe in one policy, that is bleeding India, 1,000 cut. They have been following only one template, that's the Ghazwat-e-Hind, and they want that it is because of that template.
Well, it is official now. Pakistan can no longer deny, especially when it comes to its nefarious designs in Kashmir. With the recent Pahalgam attack, India has had it enough, and it is now time to pay back. When we talk about this video that has been posted by the BJP, here is the Pakistani minister specifically admitting to a question as far as when it comes to terror organizations and why Pakistan has been giving them a safe haven. Here is how the BJP has reacted.
Right now being joined by the national spokesperson of the BJP, Nalin Kohli. Sir, Khawaja Asif, the Defence Minister of Pakistan, in an interaction with a TV channel, has accepted the fact that how exactly the Pakistan has been training all these terrorists, and he goes on to say that Pakistan has been doing it for decades. They have done it for the US also. How do you see this?
So very fact that Pakistan's defense minister has spoken to the media and acknowledged that there is an entire mechanism and apparatus for training terrorists, that is an admission by Pakistan. They cannot pretend behind false allegations. And the fact that what we have seen in Pahalgam is so horrific and barbaric that Prime Minister Modi and his government have sent out an unequivocal message that these terrorists, their handlers, backers, will be hunted down. Pakistan would need to understand that Indian blood at the hands of trained terrorists coming from across the border and from their training setups will not be tolerated by India.
Your reaction to the domestic politics that is happening on this particular issue? The opposition parties are raising questions. How do you see this?
The opposition parties, to some extent, what their statements have come out is saying they are backing the government. At the same time, it is to be noted that there are some disconcerting voices coming and trying to do politics. We've seen it over the last couple of days. Odd statements coming that somewhere or the other are going back to the old narrative, trying to find fault with the government. And on the contrary, instead of uniting behind the nation and the anger and the anguish that people have felt with the horrific murder by terrorists of innocent tourists in Pahalgam. They are trying to create a narrative of Hindu, Muslim, trying to give a justification for the attack, trying to find reasons for the attack. That's not acceptable. And the people of India will not forgive those who make these kind of statements.
Thank you for speaking to us with video journalist Vimal Mohit, but for Times Now in Delhi.